he must recognize this moment in which we face overlapping crises, not least of which is that national student debt crisis that many of us have described today.
You're watching News Now from Fox. Right now, we are listening to Democrats as they push for the Biden administration to cancel up to $50,000 in student loan debt. But switching gears, right now, I have Florida State Representative Jackie Toledo joining me this morning. Good morning, Jackie. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me. Good morning.
So large events, much like the Super Bowl, have been known to bring a heightened awareness when it comes to human trafficking. And you actually recently introduced a bill for human trafficking victims and survivors. Can you tell us more about this?
Absolutely. So I filed House Bill 523, and it has three components to the bill. The first component is creating a victim advocacy program by the Attorney General, and that will provide a consistent message to anyone that's an advocate helping victims, survive and go on with their lives. And that will be started as soon as we pass the bill. And then the second part is an expungement reform. What we want to do is expedite the expungement process, make it affordable so that victims aren't treated like criminals, and that they can move on with their life, buy a home, get a job, things that everyday people can do. And then the third part of this bill is the prosecution part of it. And that would, like in domestic violence cases, give the state the ability to act in the role of the victim so that the victims don't have to face the perpetrators and relive that trauma that they have. So that's the gist of the bill. Unfortunately, it has always been that way, but we're working hard to make sure that our message is clear, that we are not welcoming any human trafficking, that this is not the place to go. We will prosecute, law enforcement will arrest, and make sure that you are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. So we don't want to have that message. We are a great city to live in. We're very family friendly, and that it's so far we've been sending the wrong message. So we're going to be sending a very clear message. So I learned about human trafficking. Obviously, people have their ideas of what human trafficking is, and you think, oh, you have to be kidnapped, it only happens to certain people, but then you start realizing that the numbers are rampant, and it's happening in our backyard and in plain sight. So I got involved in the Junior League of Tampa, and they became a big proponent on ending human trafficking, and they started the Abolish movement. So I started with that.
So the city of Tampa is expecting the big game in just a few days. How is the city preparing when it comes to preventing illegal activities such as this?
They have billboards everywhere. There's signage. There's been training to Uber and Lyft drivers. We're trying to have a huge campaign on just the signs of human trafficking so that people can tell others, and we can tell our law enforcement when there's a suspect of human trafficking. And there are so many resources out there for victims of human trafficking that you should not be afraid to speak up because we will be behind you.
It's nice to hear that Florida is kind of a leading voice when it comes to preventing human trafficking. So what are the next steps for the bill when it comes to it being in legislation?
So first, it will have to be in different committees. There's about 3 committees that will be referenced. And then we'll hopefully get it heard soon. We have 60 days in session, so we don't have a lot of time to get this heard and passed. And then we'll have to have it passed in the Senate as well. And then hopefully signed by the governor, which we definitely hope that this can happen. It will have the opportunity to be heard by the public, for public testimony, for law enforcement, for everyone to participate in the process.
Representative Toledo, where can our viewers find more information?
You could go to myfloridahouse.gov to get more information about this specific bill. Again, it's House Bill 523, or you can go on my website, JackieToledo.com, and we will have links to the legislation as well.
Representative Toledo, thank you so much for joining us right now on News Now from Fox. And right now, some of our viewers will see a 2-minute commercial break.